Welcome to the Donaldson Report, January 25th, 2018. I've had a bunch of phone calls this morning from IT recruiters that are scrambling right now because they're looking at the H1b people that they have on their staff. I've worked with people for 30 years. Great people. The people from India that are coming in right now, some of them are highly technical and they could actually stand up to anybody that I've got. I've recommended quite a few. However, I'm looking at some of the changes that are about to take place. H1b visas only last for 3 years. The Trump administration is going to start high scrutiny before they renew those. Right now, and I'm looking down at my notes, Infosys and Cognizant are two of the biggest hires of H1b visas in the IT technical arena. Infosys is supposed to hire another 10,000 people, Americans, to replace the people that they've got on H1Bs. Cognizant, which is also a big agency, and I've worked with them all the time. The fact is they want to go ahead and hire 75% Americans. Now, right now, Cognizant hires 256,000 employees. That means that 75% of them are going to be 192,000, that's what it comes out to, of American specialist workers like myself. We've got a real problem because most corporations have taken these people on and actually used them. I have no problems. It's not racial whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I've recommended people that are highly skilled and highly talented to step into these jobs. What I find interesting is this, is that even though I hire them on and I bring them on underneath me, at least they've got skills that are good. And I say, I would highly recommend this person. At the same time, I've got to think about it as an American. India decided to go ahead and bring over some of our best professors into their universities. They recruited them to go ahead and build these universities up and bring those people over. I agree with that. What that did is it dropped the technical skill of the people in our own universities and colleges. I'm just telling you from my own experience of 30 years. Technically, right now, like I said, I'm at the highest of my skill level. I'm right there underneath the CIO level, actually doing work and saying, this is what's necessary, this is what's not, here's the best plan to go by best practices. Well, the fact is that we've got a lot of people out there right now that are in those careers. And I just left one that was about 80% Indian H1b holders. That's a 104-year-old company right now. And they're about to be decimated. This is not the thing that I would wish on anyone. American companies need to strive for their own. And the fact is, we've got a lot of technical talent here in the United States that are either underpaid, underemployed, and they can't get the jobs. So I'm going to speak out on this because I'm going to go ahead and start requiring people. I'm going to use my database, my experience, my contacts to find American workers that are the highly skilled people in the world and bring them in together. So if you happen to be one of those, give me a contact, give me a comment. The fact is, I'm going to build up a database of this because the fact is I'm really skilled at this. Let's go ahead and pull things together for America. Trump has come out with hire American, buy American. I totally agree. We've actually ignored our own society. Let's go ahead and build this back up. Let's make it work. I ask you today to go ahead and look into this. If you're an IT worker, a specialist, I'm an enterprise data architect. And I realize I cover lots of ground. I want to find the people that are best in their skills and their experience. It is said that the best people surround themselves with the best talent. You can't know everything. So I ask you, look into this, because we're about to have major upheaval right now in the United States government and all our major corporations that is going to change things. Another thing I'll point out right now, and as a matter of fact, I've mentioned to several corporations I've worked with, Fortune 500 companies. I walked into a barbershop one day, and I saw a Fortune magazine, and it said, what was wrong with American corporations? And they asked a Japanese corporation, an economist, to step up. And he says, what's wrong with American corporations? Now, I've shared this information because I thought it was valid. And he said that we're too focused, the MBAs, focused on short-term profits instead of long-term infrastructure growth in corporations. That's why most corporations are failing in America right now. It's about time we start focusing on those things. I'm going to tell you, the last corporation I was working with, 104-year-old business. American Standard. Everyone knows the brand. The fact is that we had equipment in there that was 30 plus years old, that we could only get replacement parts on eBay. That is a wrong situation. And by the way, they were bought out by an English company. They told me last May they were not going to invest any money into that company, and we had no budget for development or operations until May of this year. What does that make an employee that is striving to do the right thing, to upgrade all this stuff, to try to improve it, to make it sound, to make them profitable? Well, it was a sad situation, and they decided to go ahead and lay off a lot of people at the top, including myself. Is this a rant against them? No. It's just the American state of being right now. American corporations have been focused way too much on short-term profits rather than long-term growth that is actually going to benefit you. We've got Apple coming back in with $350 billion a year. But at least they've got the capital to do so. Those that are owned overseas, they don't have that viability. They can't do it. So I ask you today, if you're an American information technology employee, you've got some damn good skills, but you've been kept down because these companies are just looking for short-term profits. Then I've got to ask you, would you rather go ahead and turn things around? Let's go ahead and establish a network of those people that are highly skilled, that are Americans, that have been around. We've gone through every trial and error that we could possibly do in the IT. I've been there, done that. If you'd like the things to excel, then I think we need to go ahead and work together to get that to place. So give me a call, contact me, comment, and we'll talk soon. I appreciate every single one of you because we've strived. We've been in the trenches. We've worked it out. But it's going to take us. It's going to pull this economy up to what Donald Trump is talking about right now. If this is a liberal Democrat issue, I would be able to talk to you about that, but I'm not. It's not a Democrat versus Republican. This is about our jobs. This is about what we make our livings with. This is what we supply a house and a lifestyle for our families. Hopefully we can put them through college. One of my other things that I'm going to be talking about in a soon video is to go ahead and talk about student loan debt. Don't let your kids get into the student loan trap that's out there right now, because it's the second largest consumer debt, next only to credit cards. It's a mess. And our colleges are not putting out the level of teaching that we would need to have. I'll tell you, in previous corporations I've worked with, they say, we'll bring somebody from our U.S. universities, and guess what I tell them? I said, I don't want him in here because it's going to take me 6 months to a year to bring him up to speed. That's why we need to focus on American talent. People who have kept up with the technology, and they actually want to strive for things. I'm really down to earth, so excuse me if I'm not as polished as all of the news media. I'm not. I'm just a normal guy, just like you. Strives to take care of myself, take care of my family, take care of my property. So, shoot me a message, shoot me an email, let me know what you think, and we'll talk about this soon.